Some moments change your life forever. You don't know it at the time. You're just living. And then someone walks into your world. Everything shifts. Your life splits into two chapters. Who you were, who you became. For me, that moment happened July 4th, 2002. I was 19, young, full of dreams I didn't know I had. I thought I knew what my life would look like. Small town, simple job, maybe family someday. Nothing special. Just a good, solid American life. My name is David Mitchell, born and raised in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Corn country, heartland, where everyone knows everyone. Where your reputation matters. Where handshakes still mean something. Where church on Sunday isn't optional. I grew up working. My grandfather owned a hardware store downtown. My father took it over when Grandpa retired. When I turned 16, I started working there too. After school, weekends, summers, learning the business. Learning how to talk to customers. How to fix things. How to be useful. How to be a man. Cedar Rapids isn't big. About 130,000 people. But it feels smaller. Everyone's connected. Your neighbor went to school with your cousin. Your boss plays poker with your uncle. It's a web. A community. Sometimes suffocating. Mostly comforting. You belong. You matter. July 4th was always huge in our town. Bigger than Christmas. Because Independence Day isn't just a holiday here. It's identity. Americans. Free. Proud. My great-grandfather fought in World War II. Grandfather in Korea. Service. Duty. Country. These weren't just words. They were values. Foundation of everything. Every year, the whole town came together. Started morning with a parade down First Avenue. Little league teams on floats. Veterans marching. High school band playing patriotic songs. People lining streets. Waving flags, cheering, kids scrambling for candy. Pure Americana. Norman Rockwell come to life. After the parade, everyone gathered at the park. Food trucks. Craft vendors. Live music stage. Games for kids. Three-legged races. Watermelon contests. Families spreading blankets under trees. Unpacking picnic baskets. Sharing potato salad and fried chicken and homemade pies. Men around grills. Drinking beer. Talking about crops and weather and Iowa Hawkeyes. Women catching up. Keeping eye on children running wild. Controlled chaos. Beautiful chaos. Community in action. Then, as sun started setting, everyone migrated to the hill behind First Baptist Church. That's where you watched fireworks. From that hill, you could see the whole show. Fireworks launched from Riverbank about a mile away. From our spot, they filled entire sky. No obstructions. Just open sky and explosions of color, and the whole town gathered in darkness. Waiting. Ready to celebrate. That's where I saw her, Lauren Hayes. July 4th, 2002. She was sitting on a red checkered blanket about 20 feet from where I stood with my buddies, fresh out of high school. Some heading to college. Some staying to work. All in that weird limbo between childhood and adulthood. I noticed her immediately. You couldn't not notice. She had this presence, this glow, wearing a white tank top and denim shorts. Blonde hair pulled back in ponytail. Natural beauty, no makeup. Not trying too hard. Just effortlessly pretty. The kind of girl who could walk into a room and every head would turn. She was laughing. Her younger sister said something funny and Lauren threw her head back and laughed. Real laugh. Full and genuine and infectious. I found myself smiling just watching her. My buddy Jake noticed. Elbowed me. Dude, you're staring, I was. Couldn't look away. Who is that? I asked Lauren Hayes, year behind us. Just graduated. Never seen her before. She went to Kennedy. Not Washington. Probably why. Cedar Rapids had multiple high schools. You could grow up same city and never cross paths. Still felt impossible I'd never noticed her. You should go talk to her, Jake said. Grinning. Nah, she's probably got a boyfriend. Only one way to find out. I shook my head. I wasn't that guy. The guy who walks up to random girls. I was shy, awkward, better with tools than words. Better with hands than people. I could fix a leaky faucet. Build a bookshelf. Rewire a lamp. But talk to beautiful girl? Absolutely not. That required confidence I didn't have, but Jake kept pushing. Come on, man. What's worse that could happen? She says no, so what? At least you tried. He was right, logically. But fear isn't logical. Fear is paralyzing. Fear tells you all the ways you'll fail, all the reasons you're not good enough. Then something happened. Lauren looked over. Our eyes met. Just for a second. She smiled, small, quick, then looked away. But it was enough. That smile, that acknowledgement, gave me just enough courage. All right, I said. I'm doing it, Jake whooped. That's my boy. I walked over, heart pounding, palms sweating, mouth dry. Every step felt like a mile. No plan, no opening line, no idea what I'd say. Just walking. Moving forward on pure adrenaline and teenage hormones. I reached her blanket. She looked up. Those eyes, blue, clear, curious. Her sister stared too, protective, sizing me up. Hi, I said. Brilliant opening. Hi, Lauren replied, amused, probably because I looked terrified. I'm David Mitchell. I was standing over there and I saw you and thought, maybe you might want company? For fireworks? Not that you need company. You've got your sister. I just meant additional company. Or not, totally fine if not. I can just go. Sorry, this was dumb. Rambling. Word vomiting. Her sister tried not to laugh. Lauren smiled, though. Not mocking. Genuinely amused. She scooted over. Padded blanket. Sit down, David Mitchell. You look like you're about to pass out. I sat, relief washing over me. This is my sister, Amy, Lauren said. Hi, Amy. Hi, Amy said, still skeptical, so. David Mitchell. Hardware store David Mitchell? Lauren asked. You know the store? Everyone knows it. My dad buys stuff there. Says your family runs best shop in town. Pride swelled. Yeah, that's us. I work there. Since I was 16. That's cool. Hard work, honest work, it is. I like fixing things. Building things. Making things work. A man who can fix things. That's useful. We talked until fireworks started. Even during the show we kept talking, whispering. She'd point out favorite explosions. I'd tell her random facts about fireworks. Trying to impress this girl on a blanket on the most important night of my life. When grand finale ended and smoke cleared and crowd dispersed, I didn't want to leave. Didn't want this moment to end. Because I knew, somehow I knew this girl, Lauren Hayes, she was going to matter. Can I see you again? I asked, bold, direct, probably too much. But I had to know, she smiled. I'd like that. Tomorrow? Tomorrow. We exchanged numbers, made plans, said goodnight. I walked back to Jake floating. Untouchable, he knew immediately. How'd it go? We're seeing each other tomorrow. I knew it. I went home unable to sleep. Replaying every word, every smile, already planning our date, already imagining our future, already falling, hard, fast, completely. Lauren and I went on our first official date the next day. I picked her up at her parents' house. Small ranch on West Side. Her father answered. Big guy, intimidating, former military. You could tell. The way he stood. The firm handshake that tested my grip. Questions about my family, my job, my intentions. I passed, apparently. He let me take his daughter. Warned me to have her home by 10. I promised. We went to a diner downtown. Nothing fancy. Red booths. Checkered floors. Jukebox playing oldies. We ordered burgers and fries and milkshakes. Classic American date food. We talked for hours. About everything. About nothing. Getting to know each other. She told me she wanted to be a teacher. Elementary school. 2nd or 3rd grade. She loved kids. Loved the idea of shaping young minds. Making a difference. Being the teacher kids remembered decades later. I told her about the hardware store. How I was supposed to take it over someday. Continue the legacy. Keep it in family. It wasn't a dream I'd chosen. More like a path laid out for me. Expected, but I didn't mind. I liked the work. Liked being useful. Liked being rooted somewhere. Part of community. She asked if that's what I really wanted. If I'd ever thought about doing something else. Living somewhere else. Exploring the world beyond Cedar Rapids. I hadn't, not really. This was home. Why would I leave? Adventure, she said. Possibility. The chance to see who you could become in different place. Don't you ever wonder? Wonder what? What you're capable of. What you'd discover if you pushed yourself outside your comfort zone. I thought about it. No, not really. I'm comfortable here. I know who I am. What I want. This is enough, she smiled. But there was something behind it. Something I didn't understand then. Looking back now, I wonder if that was the first sign. That we wanted different things. We're different people. That comfortable wasn't enough for her, but I didn't see it. Because I was falling. By end of that first date, I was already imagining our life together. Marriage, kids, growing old. I was 19, stupid, naive, believing that love was enough. We dated all through that summer. Every single day, inseparable, movies, parks, lake, sitting on dock with feet in water, talking, laughing, kissing, falling deeper. She made everything better, brighter, more meaningful. Before Lauren, I was just existing. She made me feel things, want things, believe in things. My parents loved her. My mom especially. She'd have Lauren over for dinner. Teach her family recipes. Talk about wedding planning even though we weren't engaged. Even though we'd only been dating months. But in small towns, that's how it works. You meet someone, you date, you get married, fast. When you know, you know. Lauren's family liked me too. Her dad warmed up, saw that I was serious, that I respected his daughter. Had a future, a plan, stability. Her mom was sweet, always feeding me, making sure I felt welcome. Her sister Amy became like my sister too, tagging along sometimes, making fun of us, being a pain, but in loving way, in family way. That fall, Lauren started community college, education major. She'd drive 30 minutes to campus, attend classes, come back and study. I'd visit her between shifts, bring coffee, sit with her while she highlighted textbooks. She was smart, driven, had this focus I admired, this determination to build something, be something. I should have seen the contradiction, that the same qualities I loved were qualities that would eventually destroy us, that her refusal to settle would one day include refusing to settle for me, for our life, for small-town existence I offered. But love makes you blind. We got engaged July 4th, 2005. 3 years after we met. Same hill, same church, same fireworks. I'd been planning for months. Saved money, bought a ring, asked her father's permission. Did everything traditional way. Right way. I waited until grand finale, when sky was exploding in color and light, and I got down on one knee, pulled out ring. Asked her to marry me, she cried. Said yes, threw arms around me. Kissed me while fireworks boomed. People noticed. Started clapping, cheering, strangers congratulating us. It was perfect. Exactly how I'd imagined. A moment I'd replay for years. Proof that fairy tales exist. That love wins. That happy endings are real. We got married the following spring, April 2006. Outdoor ceremony at farm outside town. White chairs in rows, arch covered in flowers. Her in white, me in suit. Our families crying. Friends celebrating. Vows spoken. Rings exchanged. Man and wife. For better or worse. Till death do us part. Words we meant. Words we believed. Reception in a barn. Decorated with lights and flowers. We danced, ate cake, toasted to our future. Everyone happy. Everyone celebrating. Best day of my life. Nothing before or since has felt that right. That complete. I was 23, married to my best friend. Starting our life together. What could possibly go wrong? First years of marriage were good. Really good. We rented small apartment above hardware store. 1 bedroom. Tiny kitchen. Bathroom so small you could barely turn around. But it was ours. Our first home. We'd lay in bed at night and plan our future. Talk about house we'd buy. Kids we'd have. Life we'd build. It all seemed so clear. So achievable. Just matter of time. Lauren got her teaching degree. Landed job at Lincoln Elementary. 2nd grade. Exactly what she wanted. She'd come home with stories about students. Funny things they'd say. Progress they'd make. She loved it. Loved being Mrs. Mitchell, the teacher. I loved watching her light up when she talked about her day. Loved seeing her in her element. I took on more responsibility at store. My dad was getting older. Ready to step back. Let me take lead. It was smooth transition. Natural, expected. I knew the business inside out. New customers. Morning rush. Lunchtime crowd. Evening stragglers. Contractors needing supplies. Homeowners needing advice. I could handle all of it. Store thrived under my management. Sales increased. Reputation grew. We became more than hardware store. We became community hub. Place where people came for conversation. Connection. Friendly face who knew their name. Year 2 of marriage, we bought a house. 3 bedrooms. 2 bathrooms. White with black shutters. Picket fence. Front porch. Backyard. Everything we'd talked about. everything we'd saved for. We moved in on Saturday in June. Our families helped, carrying boxes, assembling furniture, unpacking dishes. By evening, exhausted, dirty, happy, we ordered pizza, sat on living room floor, looked around at our space. Lauren leaned against me, smiled. We did it. Yeah, we did. And it felt incredible. Lauren decorated, turned house into home, painted walls, hung curtains, arranged furniture. She had eye for it. Everything looked intentional, coordinated, beautiful. I built things, shelves, coffee table, bench for entryway, using skills grandfather taught me, skills father refined, making something tangible, permanent, something that would last. We hosted dinners, had friends over, played board games, grilled in backyard. Normal couple stuff, building relationships, investing in community, being people who showed up, who participated. We went to church every Sunday, volunteered when needed, joined committees. We were model citizens, model Christians, model couple. Everyone said so. Everyone looked at us and saw what they wanted. Success, happiness, proof that doing things right way led to good outcomes. Year 3, we talked about kids. Decided we were ready. Started trying. Happened quickly. 2 months later, Lauren was pregnant. We were ecstatic. Terrified but ecstatic. Called families. Told friends. Made plans. Set up nursery. Painted it yellow. Gender neutral because we wanted to be surprised. Lauren read every pregnancy book. Took every vitamin. Did everything right. I went to every appointment. Heard heartbeat. Saw ultrasounds. Watched our baby grow. Watched Lauren's belly expand. We were becoming parents, adding new role, new responsibility, new dimension to our forever. Our daughter was born in March 2009, Emma Grace Mitchell, 7 pounds, 3 ounces, perfect 10 fingers, 10 toes, lungs that worked. Cried immediately, strong, healthy, beautiful. Lauren labored 14 hours. I was there whole time, holding her hand, coaching breathing, feeling useless but trying. When Emma finally arrived, when they placed her in Lauren's arms, I cried. Big ugly tears, relief, joy, gratitude, overwhelming love, instant, unconditional, permanent. This tiny human was ours. Our responsibility. Our joy. Our future. Everything changed in that moment. Priorities shifted. Life reorganized. Emma became the center. The reason, the why Lauren stayed home first year, said she wanted to be there, didn't want to miss anything. First smile. First laugh, first word, first steps. I supported her, worked extra hours, made sure we could afford it. She was incredible at it, natural, patient, loving. Watching her with Emma made me fall in love all over again. She'd rock her to sleep, sing lullabies, read books even though Emma was too young to understand. Building connection, foundation, love, and Emma responded, thrived, grew, became bright, happy, curious little human. Year 4, our son was born. Noah James Mitchell. 8 pounds even, big boy. Came out screaming, mad at world, demanding, strong-willed from start. Emma was almost 2, just old enough to be curious, confused, adjusting to not being only one anymore. We navigated together, Lauren and I, tag teaming, trading shifts, managing feedings and diapers and toddler tantrums and infant colic. Exhausting, overwhelming, hardest thing I'd ever done. But also the best. Because we were building family, our family, 2 kids, boy and girl, exactly what we'd talked about on that first date. Exactly what we'd planned. Life was going according to script. Following timeline, checking boxes, achieving goals. We were winning. We were successful. We were happy, or at least I thought we were. Looking back, I can see when things started to shift, when cracks began forming, small at first, hairline fractures you could easily miss, and I wasn't looking closely, because I was busy, working 60-hour weeks, coming home exhausted, helping with kids, maintaining house, living life on autopilot, going through motions, checking boxes, surviving more than thriving. But isn't that what everyone does? Isn't that just adulthood? Parenthood? Real life? The glamour fades. Romance becomes routine. You settle into patterns, rhythms, survival mode. And you tell yourself it's normal, expected, temporary, that once kids are older, once work slows down, you'll reconnect, fall in love all over again. You just have to get through this season, this phase, and then everything will be okay again. Lauren went back to teaching when Noah turned 1. She needed it. Needed adult conversation, intellectual stimulation, purpose beyond diapers and laundry. I understood. Supported her. We hired sitter. Adjusted schedules. Made it work. It was tight. Financially, logistically, emotionally, but we managed. Because that's what you do. You adapt. You sacrifice. You push through. For family, for kids, for future you're building together. But Lauren seemed different after going back to work. Distant, distracted. She'd come home and immediately retreat, physically present but mentally elsewhere. She'd play with kids, make dinner, go through motions. But there was no joy, no lightness, no spark. Just obligation, duty, routine. I'd ask if she was okay. She'd say yes, smile, change subject. And I'd let her. Because I didn't want to push, didn't want to create problems where maybe there weren't any. Maybe she was just tired, overwhelmed, adjusting. Maybe this was normal. Maybe every marriage went through seasons like this. So I'd let it go, drop it. Convince myself everything was fine. She joined a gym. Said she needed to get back in shape, feel like herself again. Take care of her body, her health, mental well-being. Made sense. Seemed reasonable. Healthy even. I encouraged her. Paid for membership. Told her I'd handle bedtime so she could go. Do something for herself. She started going 3 times a week. Sometimes 4. She'd come home energized, glowing. More herself than she'd been in months. I was happy for her, grateful, relieved, see? Just needed outlet. Something for her. Break from constant demands. Everyone needs that. Everyone needs space to breathe. To be individual. Not just someone's wife. Someone's mother. But a person. I got that. Respected that. Celebrated that. Good for her. Good for us. This would help. Would make her happy. Would bring back woman I fell in love with. Except it wasn't about fitness. It was where she met him. Marcus. The man who would destroy everything. But I didn't know that yet. Wouldn't know for another 2 years. Wouldn't have any idea until it was too late. Until damage was done. Until there was no going back, we stopped having sex. Not suddenly. Gradually. From 3 times a week to once a week to twice a month to maybe once a month if I was lucky. She was always tired. Always had excuse, headache, period, early morning. Long day, kids might wake up. Not in mood. Just not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next week. Maybe never. Rejections stacked up. Created distance. Built walls. I stopped trying eventually. Stopped initiating. Stopped risking rejection. Confirmation that she didn't want me anymore. That I wasn't desirable. Wasn't attractive. Wasn't enough. It hurt less to just accept it. Let that part of our marriage die quietly. Without fight. Without discussion. Just let it fade. Like so many other things. Like date nights and long conversations and inside jokes and easy intimacy that used to define us. All of it fading. Dying, disappearing. And me pretending not to notice. Pretending it didn't matter. Pretending roommates was good enough. That co-parenting was sufficient. That love didn't need passion, didn't need connection. Just needed obligation and shared history and legal document binding us. That was enough. Had to be enough. Our conversations became transactional. Who's picking up Emma? Did you pay electric bill? Noah needs new shoes. We're out of milk. Pick up dry cleaning. Call plumber about leak. Schedule dentist appointments, logistics, management, business, no emotion. No depth, no real connection. We were colleagues, partners in operation of running household, but we weren't lovers, weren't friends, weren't companions. We were strangers living under same roof, sharing children, sharing space, but not sharing life. Not really, I told myself it was temporary, that all couples went through this, that kids changed things, made things harder. But once they were older, once they were in school full time, once we had more time and energy, we'd reconnect. We'd find our way back. We just needed to survive these early years. Get through demanding season. Hold on, keep going. Eventually it would get better, but it didn't get better. It got worse. Lauren became more withdrawn, more secretive. She'd take phone calls in other room. Close laptop quickly when I walked in. Guard her phone like it contained nuclear codes. I noticed. Of course I noticed. But I didn't confront. Didn't ask. Because I was scared. Scared of answer. Scared of confirmation that something was wrong, that she was hiding something, that our marriage was dying and I was powerless to stop it. So I stayed quiet, stayed ignorant, stayed in denial, because sometimes not knowing is easier than facing truth. July 4th, 2019. 17 years after we met on that hill. 14 years of marriage. 2 kids, a house, a life built together. I thought we were solid. Different than before. Less romantic. More practical. But solid, stable, permanent. I was wrong. That day started normal. We went to parade with Emma and Noah. Emma was 10. Noah was 8. They were excited. Running around with friends. Collecting candy. Waving flags. Lauren and I walked together but separate. Not holding hands. Not talking much. Just existing in same space. Going through motions. Playing role of happy family for benefit of town. For appearance. For kids, after parade we went to park. Set up blanket. Ate lunch. Lauren was quiet, distant, more than usual. I asked if she was okay. She said yes. But I could tell she was lying. Could see something in her eyes. Something heavy. Something she was carrying. I almost pushed. Almost demanded truth. But kids were right there. People were everywhere. It wasn't time. Wasn't place. So I let it go. Again. Always letting it go. Always avoiding. Always taking easy path. Path that led nowhere. Path that kept us stuck, broken, dying slowly. As sun started setting, we packed up. Headed toward hill behind church. Same hill where we met. Where I proposed. Where so much of our story happened. It felt symbolic somehow. Full circle. But I didn't know yet what that meant. Didn't know this was the end. The place where everything would explode. Where my life would split again. Before and after. Only this time the after wouldn't be beautiful. Wouldn't be hopeful. Wouldn't be beginning of something good. It would be destruction. Loss. The death of everything I'd built. Everything I believed. Everything I was. We spread blanket on hill. Emma and Noah ran off to find their friends. Lauren and I sat in silence. Waiting for fireworks. Waiting for darkness. Waiting for something neither of us could name. The tension was thick, suffocating. I could feel it. Could sense something coming. Something bad. Something inevitable. My stomach churned. Hands shook. I wanted to leave. Wanted to run. Wanted to avoid whatever was about to happen. But I stayed, rooted, paralyzed, waiting. David, Lauren said finally. Her voice was quiet, strained. We need to talk. My heart dropped. Those words, we need to talk. Nothing good ever follows those words. Everyone knows that. It's universal code for something terrible is coming. Brace yourself. Prepare for impact. Your life is about to change. Okay, I managed. What's up? She didn't look at me, just stared at horizon, at sky turning purple, at families gathering around us, laughing, happy, celebrating. Everything we were supposed to be. Everything we weren't. Everything we'd never be again. I can't do this anymore, she said. Flat. Matter of fact. Like she was commenting on weather. Not destroying my entire existence. Can't do what? I asked. Even though I knew. Even though I could feel it. Could sense what was coming. But I needed her to say it. Needed confirmation. Needed to hear words that would make it real. She finally looked at me. Her eyes were empty, cold, already gone, already moved on, already living some other life in her head. Life that didn't include me. Didn't include us. Didn't include the promises we made. The vows we spoke. The forever we swore to. This us, our marriage. I can't pretend anymore. Can't keep going through motions. Can't keep lying to myself, to you, to everyone. I'm done. The words hung in air. Heavy. Final. Irrevocable. The fireworks started. Boom, boom, boom. Explosions above us. Light and color and celebration all around. And my world was ending, collapsing, imploding, while everyone else celebrated freedom. I was losing mine. Losing everything. What are you saying? My voice cracked. Broke. Betrayed the panic rising in chest. The terror. The disbelief. I'm saying I don't love you anymore, David. I haven't for a long time. I tried. I really tried. Thought maybe if I just stuck it out, if I just kept trying, feelings would come back. That I'd remember why I married you. Why I chose you. But they didn't. They never came back. And I can't keep faking it. Can't keep pretending. It's not fair. To either of us, I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Couldn't process what she was saying. My wife, mother of my children, woman I'd loved for 17 years, was telling me she didn't love me, that it was over, that our marriage, our family, our entire life together was done. Just like that, on July 4th, while fireworks exploded, while our kids played 50 feet away, while the whole town celebrated around us. How long, I asked, voice hollow, distant, like it belonged to someone else, like I was watching this happen to another person, like this couldn't possibly be my life, my reality, my nightmare. How long what? How long have you felt this way? How long have you not loved me? She hesitated, and in that hesitation I knew. It wasn't recent, wasn't sudden. This had been building, festering, growing for years, while I was oblivious, while I was working, while I was trying to be good husband, good father, good provider. She was falling out of love, pulling away, preparing to leave. 3 years, she whispered, maybe more. I don't know exactly. It was gradual, slow. One day I just realized I was going through motions, that I didn't feel anything anymore. No love, no excitement, no connection, just obligation. And I've been trying to figure out how to tell you, how to leave, how to end this without destroying everyone. But there's no good way, no right time. So I'm just saying it now. Tonight, I'm done. We're done. 3 years. 3 years she'd been lying, pretending, playing role of wife while feeling nothing, while planning escape, while I was completely clueless, completely blindsided, completely destroyed. Is there someone else? I asked, even though I knew, even though everything pointed to yes, even though her behavior, her distance, her secrecy all screamed affair. I needed her to say it, needed to hear truth, no matter how much it would hurt. She looked away, confirming everything. Yes, there is. And just like that, my life shattered, exploded, ended on July 4th, on the same hill where it began. Full circle. Only this time the fireworks weren't celebrating love. They were marking death, the end of everything, the destruction of my world. While everyone around us cheered and laughed and celebrated freedom, I was drowning, dying, disappearing into pain so deep I couldn't see bottom. Who is he? I asked. Voice hard, cold, anger starting to replace shock, starting to burn through numbness. David, who is he? She wrapped arms around herself, defensive, guilty, but not apologetic. Not sorry, just caught. His name is Marcus. He's physical therapist. I met him at gym, of course, the gym, the place she'd been going for 2 years, the place I encouraged her to go. Paid for, supported, while she was meeting another man, falling for another man, betraying me, betraying our family, our vows, everything we built. How long? I demanded. David, please, how long with him? 8 months. 8 months. Not one-time mistake, not moment of weakness. 8 months of affair. 8 months of lying, sneaking, cheating. 8 months of coming home to me and kids and pretending everything was fine, while carrying on with another man, while planning new life, while destroying ours. Do the kids know? My voice was shaking, hands clenched into fists, fighting urge to scream, to rage, to make scene right here on this hill in front of everyone. No, of course not. Does he know about us? About them? She nodded. Yes, he knows everything, everything. She told stranger everything about our life. Our marriage. Our family. Given him pieces of us, pieces that were supposed to be private, sacred. She'd shared intimate details of our life with man who was destroying it, who was taking my wife, my family, my future. What does he have that I don't? Words came out broken, desperate, pathetic, but I needed to know, needed to understand how I'd failed, why I wasn't enough, what made her choose him over me. Over 17 years, over 2 kids, over the life we built. Lauren looked at me with something that might have been pity. He sees me, David really sees me. Not as wife or mother or role I play, but as Lauren. Just Lauren. He asks how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I want. He listens. Actually listens. When was the last time you asked me about my day? Really asked? Not logistics. Not about kids. But about me? I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. Because she was right. I couldn't remember. Couldn't recall last time I'd asked about her feelings, her dreams, her needs. I'd been so focused on work, on kids, on maintaining house, on checking boxes, on surviving, that I'd forgotten to actually see my wife, to know her. To love her the way she needed. I see you, I said weakly. No. You see what you want to see. The woman who fits into your perfect little life, who makes dinner and organizes parties and smiles at church. But you don't see me. The real me. The woman drowning in this town. In this life. In this marriage. The fireworks reached grand finale. Sky erupted in color. Boom, boom, boom. Hundreds of explosions overlapping, creating cascade of light. The whole neighborhood was cheering. Emma and Noah came running. Eyes wide with wonder. Did you see that, Dad? I looked at my kids. Then at my wife. She was crying. Silent tears. But smiling at children, playing the part, pretending everything was okay. Yeah, buddy, I said to Noah. I saw it, but I wasn't talking about fireworks. I was talking about end of my marriage. Exploding right in front of me. Bright and devastating, while whole world celebrated around us. That night after kids went to bed, Lauren slept in guest room. Didn't ask permission, just gathered pillow and walked down hall like most natural thing. Like we hadn't just spent 14 years sharing same bed, same life. I sat in living room until 3 a.m, staring at nothing, thinking about everything. How did I miss this? What signs did I ignore? Was I really that blind? That stupid? I thought about Marcus, the physical therapist. I pictured him. Tall probably, fit, the kind of guy who drinks protein shakes and has visible abs, the kind of guy who knows how to talk to women, how to make them feel special. I hated him. But more than that, I hated myself for losing her to him. Next morning, Lauren acted like nothing happened, made breakfast, packed kids' lunches for summer camp, kissed them goodbye. Perfect mother, efficient, loving, present. But when she looked at me, her eyes were empty. Like I was stranger, roommate, someone she tolerated but didn't actually know. We need to talk, I said after kids left. I know. We sat at kitchen table, same table where we'd shared thousands of meals, where Emma took her first bite of solid food, where Noah learned to write his name. Now it felt like courtroom, cold, formal, place where verdicts were delivered. What happens now? I asked. Lauren folded hands, professional, detached. I think we should separate. Give ourselves space to figure things out. Figure things out? Lauren, you already figured it out. You have another man. You don't love me. What's left to figure out? I need to figure out who I am outside of this marriage. And you need time to process. Process. Like this was business transaction. Like our marriage was failed project that needed to be shut down and analyzed. What about kids? We tell them together. We explain that mommy and daddy need some time apart, that we still love them, that this isn't their fault, but it's my fault. She looked at me then, really looked at me, and for a second I saw a flash of old Lauren, the girl on Hill. Woman who said yes to forever, but it was gone as quickly as it appeared. It's nobody's fault, David. People grow apart. It happens, not to us. It wasn't supposed to happen to us. Well, it did. She moved out 2 weeks later, rented condo across town, took half furniture, half dishes, half of everything we'd built together. Kids stayed with me during week, went to her place on weekends, shared custody. Broken family trying to pretend it wasn't broken. Emma cried every night for a month. Asked when mommy was coming home. I didn't have answer. Noah got quiet. Stopped talking as much. Started wetting bed again. He was 12 years old. Too old for that. But trauma doesn't care about age. I tried to hold it together. Kept store running. Kept showing up for Little League. Kept going to church. But inside I was dying. Every day felt like walking through water. Everything was harder, heavier, exhausting. My friends didn't know what to say. They'd give me awkward pats on back. Hang in there, buddy. You'll get through this. Plenty of fish in sea. Empty words. Meaningless platitudes. They meant well, but they didn't understand. How could they? Their wives still loved them. I started seeing therapist Dr. Ellen Rodriguez, 50-something, kind eyes. Patient voice. She asked me questions I didn't want to answer. How did you feel when Lauren said she didn't love you? What do you think went wrong? Do you blame yourself? Yes, I blamed myself. Of course I did. If I'd been better husband, if I'd paid more attention, if I'd asked right questions, if I'd been different, better, more, maybe she would have stayed. Dr. Rodriguez told me that wasn't true, that I couldn't control another person's feelings, that Lauren made her own choices, that I needed to stop carrying guilt that wasn't mine to carry. But knowing something intellectually and believing it emotionally are two different things. 3 months after Lauren moved out, she filed for divorce. I wasn't surprised. But seeing papers still felt like knife to chest. Petition for dissolution of marriage. Such cold legal language for destruction of family. My lawyer said I could fight it. Contest terms. Make it difficult for her. But what was point? She didn't want me anymore. No amount of legal maneuvering was going to change that. So I signed. Let her have what she wanted. House would be sold. Assets divided. Kids would split time equally. We'd be civil. Cooperative. Mature adults navigating difficult situation. But late at night, when house was quiet and kids were asleep, I'd sit in backyard and look at sky, and I'd think about that July 4th, the fireworks, moment everything ended, and I'd wonder if she planned it, if she chose that night on purpose. Independence Day, day she declared her freedom. From me, from us, from life we built. I was 42 years old, divorced, single father, meant starting over. I could either drown in it or learn to swim. And I had 2 kids who needed me to swim, who needed me to be strong. To show them that life goes on, that you can survive worst thing you've ever experienced and still wake up next day. So that's what I did. I woke up, made coffee, called Emma and Noah, told them I loved them. And then I started planning. Started thinking about what came next. I didn't plan to meet Marcus. Didn't want to. But 6 months into separation, Emma's school had fall carnival. Lauren was supposed to take kids. But she called that morning. Emergency at work. Could I cover? Of course I could. I was their father. I'd always cover. I took Emma and Noah, bought them cotton candy and ride tickets, watched them go on Ferris wheel 3 times. It was good day, normal. Kind of day that made me forget just for a moment that my life had fallen apart. And then I saw them. Lauren and Marcus, walking toward us. Hand in hand, my stomach dropped. Emma saw her first. Mommy! She ran over, hugged Lauren tight. Lauren hugged back, but her eyes were on me. Guilty, apologetic. She knew this was wrong. Bringing him here, to our kids' school, to our community. Marcus stood beside her, tall, athletic, exactly like I'd pictured. He wore jeans and fitted t-shirt that showed off his build. The kind of guy who probably did CrossFit and posted about it on Instagram. He smiled at Emma. Practiced, comfortable smile. Like he'd done this before. Like he was used to being around my children. Lauren walked over to me. Marcus followed. This was happening. I couldn't avoid it. David, this is Marcus. Marcus, this is David. He extended hand. Confident, friendly. Like we were meeting at barbecue instead of in wreckage of my marriage. I stared at his hand. Thought about not shaking it. About making scene. About telling him exactly what I thought of men who sleep with married women. But kids were watching. So I shook his hand. Brief, firm, cold. Good to finally meet you, Marcus said. Lauren's told me a lot about you. I bet she has, I thought. I bet she's told you everything. How boring I am. How predictable. How I failed her in every possible way. Wish I could say same, I replied. Voice was ice. Lauren touched Marcus's arm. Small gesture, possessive, intimate, made me sick. We should let you get back to kids, she said quickly. Yeah, we should, they walked away. Marcus's hand on small of Lauren's back. Same place I used to touch her. Same way I used to guide her through crowds. He'd taken my place. In every possible way, Noah came running up. Was that Mom's friend? Friend? That's what Lauren had told them. Marcus was her friend. Not her boyfriend. Not man she was leaving me for. Just friend. Because truth was too complicated. Too ugly, too real. Yeah, buddy. That's her friend. I don't like him. I looked down at my son, 12 years old. Perceptive. Protective. Already learning that world isn't fair. That people leave. That families break. You don't have to like him, I said. But you have to be respectful. Can you do that? He nodded. But his jaw was tight. Fists clenched. He was angry. And I understood exactly how he felt. That night after I put kids to bed, I called Lauren. What the hell were you thinking? I didn't yell. But my voice was hard. Controlled fury. David, you brought him to their school. To place where everyone knows us. Where Emma and Noah have to go every day. Where I have to show my face. Do you have any idea how humiliating that was? I'm sorry. I didn't think exactly. You didn't think. You never think about anyone but yourself anymore. Silence. Then softly, that's not fair. Fair? You want to talk about fair, Lauren? Was it fair to lie to me for 3 years? Was it fair to cheat on me with some gym guy? Was it fair to destroy our family and then parade your new boyfriend around like it's no big deal? He's not just some guy, David. I care about him. And kids need to get used to him because he's going to be part of their lives. My blood went cold. What does that mean? It means he's moving in with me. Next month, I couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. She was moving him into her condo. Place where my kids spent their weekends. Where they slept, ate, lived half their lives. And now this stranger was going to be there. Playing house with my family, you can't do that. Yes, I can. We're separated, David. I'm allowed to move on. Not with my kids involved. Not this fast. It's been 6 months. Exactly, 6 months. You think that's enough time? You think Emma and Noah are ready for this? They'll adjust. They'll adjust? They're kids, Lauren. Traumatized kids. They're still processing divorce. And now you're throwing new man into mix? Have you asked them how they feel? Or do their feelings not matter either? She was quiet for a long moment. When she spoke again, her voice was small, defensive. Of course their feelings matter. But I can't put my life on hold forever. I deserve to be happy. And what about them? Don't they deserve stability, security, mother who puts them first? I do put them first. No, Lauren. You put yourself first. And you always have. I hung up. Threw phone across room. It hit wall and cracked. I didn't care. I wanted to break something. Wanted to scream. Wanted to drive over to her place and tell Marcus exactly what kind of woman he was dealing with. Liar, cheater, woman who destroyed her family for man. She'd known less than year, but I didn't, because that's not who I am. I'm David Mitchell. Hardware store owner, church usher, good guy. Man who does right thing even when it kills him. So I sat in dark. In house that used to be ours, and I let anger burn. Let it consume me, because anger was easier than grief. Easier than admitting that woman I loved was gone. That she was never coming back. That I'd lost her to someone better. Someone who made her feel alive, someone who wasn't me. 2 months later, Lauren officially introduced Marcus to kids. Not as mom's friend, but as her boyfriend. Emma was 13. Noah was 12. Old enough to understand. Old enough to hate it. They came home that Sunday night quiet, withdrawn. I made their favorite dinner. Spaghetti and meatballs. They barely touched it. How was weekend? I asked, trying to sound casual. Emma shrugged. Noah stared at his plate. Did you guys do anything fun? Marcus took us to trampoline park, Emma said flatly. Like she was reporting crime instead of fun outing. That sounds fun. It wasn't. I put down fork. You want to talk about it? Noah exploded. He's trying to be our dad. He keeps asking questions and trying to play with us and acting like he's part of family. But he's not. He's just some guy who's stealing our mom. Emma started crying. I hate him, Dad. I hate him so much. He sleeps in Mom's room. He eats breakfast with us. He sits in your spot on couch. It's wrong. Everything about it is wrong. My heart shattered. I got up, pulled them both into hug. Emma buried face in my shoulder. Noah's body shook with silent sobs. They were breaking, and I couldn't fix it. I know it's hard, I said softly. I know it hurts. But Marcus isn't trying to replace me. I'm still your dad. I'll always be your dad. Nothing can change that. Then why is Mom with him? Emma pulled back. Eyes were red, desperate. Why isn't she with you? You're good, Dad. You're kind. You do everything right. So why did she leave? How do you explain adult relationships to 13-year-old? How do you tell your daughter that sometimes love dies? That people change? That her mother fell out of love with me and there was nothing I could do to stop it? Sometimes grown-ups grow apart, I said carefully. It doesn't mean anyone did anything wrong. It just means we want different things now. That's what Mom says. But I don't believe it. I think she just wanted someone more exciting. Someone cooler, and you weren't enough. Words hit like bullets, because that's exactly what I believe too. That I wasn't enough. Wasn't interesting enough. Romantic enough. Passionate enough. That I'd failed as husband, as man. But I couldn't let my kids carry that burden. Couldn't let them think their father was inadequate. Your mom and I both made mistakes, I said. Marriage is complicated. But one thing we both did right was you two. You're best parts of us, and we both love you more than anything in this world. That will never change, Noah wiped eyes. Can we stay here full time? I don't want to go back to Mom's if Marcus is there. I wanted to say yes, wanted to keep them with me, protect them from awkwardness and pain of watching their mother build new life with another man. But I couldn't do that. Lauren was their mother. They needed her too. I know it's uncomfortable right now, I said, but it'll get easier. I promise. And if Marcus ever makes you feel uncomfortable or disrespected, you tell me immediately. Okay? They nodded, but I could see doubt in their eyes, fear, confusion. They were losing their childhood, being forced to navigate adult problems they shouldn't have to face. That night, after they went to bed, I called my lawyer. Can I fight for full custody? I asked. On what grounds? She's introducing kids to her boyfriend too soon. It's damaging them. My lawyer sighed. David, unless you can prove he's danger to children, court won't intervene. Parents are allowed to date, to have relationships. It's not ideal, but it's not illegal. So I just have to sit here and watch my kids suffer? Document everything. If their behavior changes dramatically, if grades drop, if they show signs of serious distress, we can revisit custody arrangements. But right now, you don't have grounds to file. I thanked him and hung up, felt completely powerless. My kids were hurting. My ex-wife was moving on, and there was nothing I could do except watch it all unfold. Next weekend, when I dropped Emma and Noah off at Lauren's, Marcus answered door. Hey guys. Too cheerful. Too eager. We're making pizzas tonight, homemade. You can pick your own toppings. Kids walked past him without responding. He looked at me, awkward, trying to connect. They're still adjusting, he said. Yeah, they are. I'm not trying to replace you, you know. Lauren's made that very clear. I just want to be positive presence in their lives. I wanted to punch him. Wanted to tell him to stay away from my kids, that he had no right to play family with them. But instead I nodded. Just give them time. And space. Don't push too hard, I won't, I promise. He seemed sincere, which somehow made it worse. I didn't want him to be nice. Didn't want him to be reasonable. I wanted him to be villain. Someone I could hate without guilt. But he was just Guy who fell in love with my wife. Guy who was trying to navigate impossible situation just like me. I drove home alone. House felt emptier than usual. No kids arguing. No TV playing. No sounds of life. Just silence and me, sitting in wreckage of everything I'd built, wondering how it all went so wrong. First Thanksgiving after separation was disaster. Lauren and I tried to do it together for kids. One last attempt at normalcy, but it felt like performance. We were actors playing roles of functional family. Going through motions, I roasted turkey. Lauren made her famous green bean casserole. Kids sat between us at table. We said grace, ate in uncomfortable silence. Emma and Noah kept looking back and forth between us, waiting, hoping, maybe thinking this was moment we'd realize our mistake. That we'd get back together. That family would be whole again, but that didn't happen. Instead, Lauren left right after dinner. Said she had plans. I knew what that meant. She was seeing Marcus, spending holiday with him, choosing him over us. Emma locked herself in room. Noah sat in living room, staring at football game but not really watching. I cleaned up alone, wrapped leftovers, washed dishes, wondered how many more holidays would feel like this. Hollow, broken, wrong. Christmas was worse. We split custody. Kids spent Christmas Eve with Lauren and Marcus. Christmas morning with me. When they came home, Emma was wearing necklace I didn't buy. Noah had new video game console. Marcus gave these to us, Emma said quietly, like she felt guilty, like she'd betrayed me by accepting gifts from him. That was nice of him, I said. And I meant it, sort of. Part of me was grateful he cared enough to get them something thoughtful. But another part was furious. He was buying their affection, trying to win them over with presents and pizza nights and trampoline parks. I gave them gifts I'd bought. Books, clothes, practical things. Things they needed. Emma smiled politely. Noah said thank you. But I could see comparison in their eyes. My gifts were boring, necessary, but not exciting, not fun. Not like what Marcus gave them. That night after they went to bed, I sat in front of Christmas tree. Alone. Lights blinked red and green. House smelled like pine. It should have felt magical. Peaceful, but it just felt sad. I thought about last Christmas. Lauren and I stayed up late assembling toys. Drank hot chocolate. Laughed about how terrible we were at reading instruction manuals. We were team, partners. Even when things were hard, we had each other. Now I had no one. Just me and half-empty house and ghost of marriage that used to exist. New Year's Eve, kids were with Lauren. I was invited to party. My friend Rick insisted. You can't sit home alone on New Year's, he said. You need to get out. Meet people. Start living again, so I went. Party was at someone's house. I didn't know half people there. Everyone was drinking, laughing, counting down to midnight, kissing their partners when ball dropped. I stood in corner with beer I wasn't drinking and watched. Felt completely invisible. At 11:58 I left, drove home, walked into empty house, turned on TV just in time to see countdown. 10, 9, 8. Crowd in Times Square screaming, confetti falling, couples embracing 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year. I turned off TV, sat in dark, and cried for first time since Lauren left. Big, ugly, shoulder-shaking sobs. Kind of crying you do when you're alone and there's no one to see you fall apart. I cried for my marriage, for my kids, for future I thought I'd have, for man I used to be before all this broke him. When I finally stopped, it was after 2 in the morning. Eyes were swollen, throat hurt, but something had shifted. Grief was still there, pain, anger, but underneath it all was something else. Something small but growing. Acceptance. This was my life now, divorced, single father. Man starting over at 43. I could either drown in it or learn to swim. And I had 2 kids who needed me to swim, who needed me to be strong, to show them that life goes on, that you can survive worst thing you've ever experienced and still wake up next day. So that's what I did. I woke up, made coffee, called Emma and Noah to wish them Happy New Year, told them I loved them, and then I started planning, started thinking about what came next. Dr. Richard told me I needed to rediscover myself. You've spent 20 years being husband and father, she said. Who is David outside of those roles? I didn't know. I'd never thought about it. Since I was 19, my identity had been tied to Lauren, to our relationship, our family. Take that away and who was I? So I started experimenting. Small things at first. I joined gym, not to get ripped or impress anyone, just to feel strong again. To prove to myself that I could commit to something and follow through. I went 3 times a week, early mornings before store opened. It felt good, productive, like I was building something, even if it was just muscle. I started reading again, something I'd loved as kid but abandoned as adult. Too busy, too tired, too much responsibility. But now I had time. So I read, fiction mostly, stories about people in impossible situations who somehow found a way through. It gave me hope. Reminded me that I wasn't first person to survive heartbreak, that humans are resilient, that we adapt. I took cooking class. Ridiculous, I know. 43-year-old man learning to make coq au vin. But kids were getting tired of my rotation of spaghetti, tacos, and grilled cheese. And I was getting tired of being incompetent in own kitchen. So I learned knife skills, sauces, how to properly season food. It was humbling, but also satisfying. Creating something with my hands, something nourishing, something good. Hardware store became my sanctuary. I'd always enjoyed work, but now I threw myself into it completely. Expanded inventory. Hired 2 new employees. Started offering weekend workshops. How to tile bathroom. How to build deck. How to fix leaky faucet. People showed up. Community rallied around me. They knew what I was going through. Small towns talk. Everyone knew Lauren had left. That she'd moved on. That I was raising kids mostly alone. But instead of pity, I got respect. Men would come in, buy a hammer or some nails and say, "Hang in there, Dave, you're doing great." Women would stop me at church and tell me how proud they were, how strong I was, how lucky Emma and Noah were to have me. It helped. Not completely, but enough to keep going. 6 months into divorce proceedings, my lawyer called with news. Lauren wanted to settle. She wasn't asking for spousal support, wasn't fighting me on house. She just wanted it done, clean, fast, move on with her life. Part of me was relieved. No drawn-out court battle. No mudslinging. No forcing kids to choose sides. But another part was devastated, because her willingness to let go so easily proved what I'd feared all along, that I was replaceable, that our 20 years together meant so little to her that she couldn't even be bothered to fight. I signed papers. We were officially divorced in March 2020. Emma was 14. Noah was 13. They took it quietly. No big reaction. I think they'd been expecting it, preparing for it. Official end of something that had died long time ago. That spring, I did something crazy. I bought motorcycle. Harley Davidson, black and chrome. Completely impractical for hardware store owner with 2 kids. But I didn't care. I wanted something that was mine. Something that represented freedom, movement, ability to go somewhere, anywhere, without asking permission or checking with anyone else. I took it out on weekends when kids were with Lauren. Rode through countryside. Wind in face. Engine roaring beneath me. Those rides saved me, gave me space to think, to grieve, to imagine future that didn't look like my past. Emma hated motorcycle. Said it was dangerous, that I was going through midlife crisis. She wasn't wrong. But I didn't care. I needed this. Needed to prove to myself that I was still alive. Still capable of feeling something other than pain. Noah thought it was cool. Asked if he could ride with me when he was older. I said yes. Made mental note to get him helmet. To teach him how to respect machine. How to ride safe but free. Father-son bonding over motorcycles. It was something to look forward to. Future memory in making. Lauren got engaged to Marcus in June. 8 months after our divorce was finalized. Emma told me over breakfast. Casual. Like she was commenting on weather. Mom's getting married again. I kept face neutral. How do you feel about that? Emma shrugged. I don't know. I guess it's fine. Marcus is okay. He tries really hard. Maybe too hard. But he makes Mom happy. And I guess that's what matters. And how do you feel about Mom being happy? She looked at me then. Really looked at me. And I saw conflict in her eyes, guilt. I'm glad she's happy. But I hate that it means you're not. I hate that she gets new family and you're alone. I'm not alone. I have you and Noah. You know what I mean, Dad. Yeah, I knew what she meant. I was romantically alone. Single. No one to share my life with. No partner. No companion. Just me and ghost of marriage that used to be. I'm okay, sweetheart, really. I'm figuring things out. Building new life. It takes time. But I'm getting there. She hugged me. Held on tight. You deserve to be happy too, Dad. You deserve someone who sees how amazing you are. I kissed top of her head. Fought back tears. Thank you, baby. That means everything. That conversation haunted me for weeks. Because she was right. I did deserve happiness. But wanting it and finding it are 2 different things. Dr. Richard suggested dating. You don't have to get serious. Just meet people. Remember what it's like to connect with someone new. Idea terrified me. I'd been with Lauren since I was 19. I didn't know how to date. Didn't know how to talk to women. Didn't know what I was supposed to do or say or be, but I tried. Downloaded dating app, felt ridiculous doing it. Took selfie. Wrote bio. Divorced dad of 2. Small business owner, looking for someone kind. Simple, honest, pathetic, I got few matches. Went on couple dates. They were fine. Women were nice. But there was no spark. No connection. I'd sit across from them at coffee shops or restaurants and realize I was just going through motions. Pretending to be interested. Counting minutes until I could politely leave. After 4th failed date, I deleted app. Decided I wasn't ready. Maybe I'd never be ready. And that was okay. Not everyone gets second chance at love. Some people just have one great love. And when it ends, that's it. Rest is just survival. I started volunteering at church. Helping with youth group. Teaching kids how to do basic home repairs, how to change tire, how to be self-sufficient. It felt good, purposeful, like I was investing in next generation, passing on knowledge, skills, values. One of other volunteers was a woman named Jessica. Early 40s, divorced, 2 kids of her own. We worked together on Habitat for Humanity project, building house for family in need. We'd spend Saturdays hammering nails, installing drywall, painting, and we'd talk. About our kids, our divorces, challenge of starting over. She was easy to talk to, didn't judge, didn't pry, just listened. Shared her own story. Her ex had cheated too. With his secretary, classic, painful, humiliating. But she'd survived. Built new life. Was genuinely happy now. It gets easier, she told me one day. First year is hell. Second year is hard. But somewhere around year 3, you wake up and realize you're okay, that you've actually built something new. Something that's yours. I was in year 2, hard year, but her words gave me hope, that this wasn't forever, that eventually pain would fade, that I'd be okay, We became friends, Jessica and I. Nothing romantic. Just two people who understood each other's pain, who could be honest about struggle without pretense. It helped, more than therapy, more than anything. Having someone who got it, who'd lived it, who was on other side and could show me that survival was possible. Emma noticed. "You seem happier, Dad." "I am," I admitted. "I think I'm finally starting to heal." "Good. You deserve that." I hugged her. My sweet, perceptive girl. 14 years old and already wise beyond her years. Divorce had stolen some of her innocence, forced her to grow up too fast. But it had also made her compassionate, empathetic, strong. She'd be okay. They both would, and maybe eventually so would I. Year 3 arrived quietly. No fanfare, no dramatic shift. Just gradual healing. Like wounds slowly closing. Still tender. Still scarred, but no longer bleeding. I sold house. The one Lauren and I bought together. Where we raised Emma and Noah. Where we had Christmas mornings and birthday parties and ordinary Tuesday nights. It was time. Holding on to it felt like clinging to ghost. Version of life that no longer existed. I bought smaller place. Ranch-style home on edge of town. 3 bedrooms. Big backyard. Room for kids when they stayed with me. Room for me to breathe. To build something new. I decorated it myself. Chose furniture I liked. Painted walls colors I wanted. It was mine, completely. And that felt powerful. Emma and Noah helped me move in. We spent weekend unpacking boxes, hanging pictures, arranging furniture. Noah set up his room exactly how he wanted it. Emma created cozy reading nook in hers. They were making it theirs too. Claiming space in this new chapter. "This is nice, Dad," Emma said, surveying living room. "It feels like fresh start." "It is," I agreed. "For all of us." That spring, Jessica invited me to her daughter's birthday party. "Just casual thing," she said. "Backyard barbecue. Some friends. My ex won't be there. No pressure. But I'd love for you to come." I went. Met her kids. Her friends. Her sister. Everyone was warm. Welcoming. Easy. I helped grill burgers. Played cornhole with kids. Laughed at bad jokes. It felt normal. Like maybe I could do this. Be social. Be part of community again. Be more than divorced guy from hardware store. Jessica walked me to my car when I left. "Thanks for coming. It meant a lot. Thanks for inviting me." "I had great time." She smiled, hesitated, then, "Would you want to have dinner sometime?" "Just 2 of us?" My heart jumped. Date. She was asking me on date. I'd known her for almost a year. Trusted her. Enjoyed her company. But idea of dating again still terrified me. What if I screwed it up? What if I wasn't ready? What if it ruined our friendship? But looking at her, standing there in fading sunlight, hopeful and vulnerable, I realized something. I had to try. Had to take risk. Because staying safe meant staying alone. And I didn't want to be alone forever. "I'd like that," I said. We went to dinner following week. Small Italian place downtown. Candles on tables. Soft music. Romantic without being over the top. We talked for 3 hours about everything. Our childhoods. Our marriages. Our fears. Our dreams. It was easy. Natural. Like we'd been doing this forever. At end of night, she kissed me. Quick. Soft. Sweet. First kiss I'd had in 3 years. It was strange, different, not Lauren. But also good. Really good. "I've wanted to do that for months," she admitted. "Yeah? Yeah, but I didn't want to push. I know you've been through a lot. I have. But I think I'm ready now to try, if you're willing to be patient with me." She took my hand. Squeezed. "I'm not going anywhere, David." We dated slowly. No rush, no pressure. Just 2 people figuring out if they fit together. We'd have dinner once a week. Go to movies. Take walks. Sometimes our kids would join us. Emma and Noah liked Jessica's kids. They'd play basketball in driveway or video games in basement, while Jessica and I cooked dinner together. It wasn't perfect. There were awkward moments. Times when I'd compare her to Lauren. Times when old wounds would surface and I'd pull back. But Jessica was patient, understanding. She'd been through it too. Knew that healing isn't linear, that some days are harder than others. 6 months into our relationship, I met her ex-husband at school function. It was uncomfortable, brief, but civil. He shook my hand, said he'd heard good things about me from his kids, that he was glad Jessica was happy. It was mature, Evolved. Kind of interaction I hoped Lauren and I could have someday. Lauren and Marcus had their first anniversary. Kids mentioned it casually. Said they'd gone out to celebrate. That they seemed really solid. Really in love. It still stung. But less than before. Because I had Jessica now. Had proof that life goes on. That you can love again. That happiness isn't limited to one person or one relationship. Noah turned 15. Got his learner's permit. I taught him to drive. We'd go out on back roads on Sunday afternoons. Practice parallel parking in empty lots. He was terrible at first. Jerky stops. Wide turns. But he improved. Got confident. It was rite of passage. Father teaching son. Passing on knowledge, skills, freedom. Emma started dating. Boy from her class. Sweet kid, polite, good student. I gave him standard dad speech. Treat her right. Have her home by 10. Respect her boundaries, he nodded. Scared but earnest. Emma rolled her eyes. But I could tell she appreciated it. Protection, care. Life was moving forward. Everyone was finding their place. Their rhythm. Chaos of divorce was fading into background. Becoming just part of our story. Not whole story. Just chapter. Painful one. But not the end. I saw Lauren at Emma's high school graduation. We'd managed to avoid direct interaction for almost 2 years. Communicated through text. Quick drop-offs and pickups. Polite but distant. But graduation was different. We'd both be there. Sitting in same auditorium. Watching our daughter walk across stage. United in pride even if divided in everything else. I got there early. Found seat. Saved one for Jessica. Lauren arrived with Marcus. She looked different. Older maybe. Or just different. Her hair was shorter. She wore dress I didn't recognize. She was stranger who used to be my whole world. Our eyes met across room. She gave small wave, I nodded. Marcus put hand on her back. Protective, possessive, claiming what was his. I didn't feel jealous, just sad. Sad that we'd come to this. Two people who once promised forever now sitting on opposite sides of gym, separated by years of hurt and bad decisions. Emma gave speech. Valedictorian. My brilliant girl. She talked about resilience. About how life doesn't go according to plan. How families change. How people leave. But how we adapt. We survive. We find new ways to be whole. She didn't mention divorce specifically. But everyone knew. Whole town knew our story. When she finished, crowd stood and applauded. I clapped until my hands hurt. Pride swelling in chest. She'd done this. Despite everything. Despite chaos and pain and upheaval, she'd thrived, succeeded. Become incredible young woman. After ceremony, we took pictures, Lauren and me on either side of Emma, smiling, pretending to be unified family for camera. Marcus stood off to side, respectful, giving us this moment. For that, I was grateful. She did great, Lauren said quietly. She did. You should be proud. We should be proud. You're good, Father David. I know I never said that, but it's true. Emma and Noah are lucky to have you. I looked at her. Really looked at her. And I saw something I hadn't seen in years. Regret. Not enough to change anything. Not enough to bring us back together. But enough to acknowledge cost. What we'd all lost. What could never be recovered. Thank you, I said. That means a lot. We stood there, awkward. Two people who once knew everything about each other, now strangers making small talk. It was sad, but also okay. We'd moved on. Built separate lives, and that was how it needed to be. That night after parties and celebrations, I sat on my back porch with Jessica, drinking beer, watching stars. Emma was off with friends. Noah was at sleepover. It was just us, quiet, peaceful. You okay? Jessica asked. Yeah, I think I am. Seeing Lauren today, I realized something. I don't hate her anymore. I'm not angry. I'm just neutral. She's mother of my kids, someone I used to love. But she's not my enemy. And she's not my responsibility. She's just Lauren. Living her life. Like I'm living mine. That's growth. It's something. She leaned against me. Warm. Solid. Real. I'm proud of you. Healing isn't easy. But you've done the work. I kissed top of her head. I had good reasons to keep going. We sat in comfortable silence. Kind of silence that only comes when you're with someone who truly knows you, who's seen your worst and stayed anyway, who believes in your capacity to heal, to change, to become more than your trauma. Few weeks later, Dr. Richard asked me question, if you could go back and change things, would you? I thought about it. Really thought about it. Would I go back to that July 4th? Stop Lauren from leaving? Fight harder to keep her? Prevent divorce? Save marriage? No, I said finally. Because if I did, I wouldn't be who I am now. I wouldn't have learned what I'm capable of. I wouldn't have Jessica. Wouldn't have this new relationship with my kids. Wouldn't have grown. Pain was necessary. It broke me down so I could rebuild better, stronger, more authentic. That's profound, David. It's true. I lost my marriage, but I found myself. And in long run, that's more valuable. She smiled. Closed notebook. I think you're ready to graduate from therapy. Really? Really. You've done the work. You've processed grief. You've forgiven yourself and Lauren. You've built new life. You don't need me anymore. It felt strange, bittersweet. Dr. Richard had been my anchor for 3 years, my safe space to fall apart, to question, to rage, to heal. But she was right. I didn't need her anymore. I'd learned tools, built foundation. Rest was just living. That 4th of July, 4 years after Lauren left me, I hosted barbecue. Invited friends, family, Jessica and her kids. Emma and Noah helped me grill. Set up tables, hung lights in backyard. We laughed. Ate too much. Told stories. Celebrated life, freedom, independence. As sun set, someone suggested we go watch town fireworks. Everyone piled into cars. Drove to same hill behind First Baptist Church. Same hill where I met Lauren all those years ago, where I proposed. Where my life began and ended and began again. We spread out blankets. Kids ran around with sparklers. Jessica sat beside me. Emma on my other side. Noah in front of us. My people, my family, different than before, assembled from broken pieces, but whole in its own way. Fireworks started. Boom, boom, boom. Explosions of color against black sky. Red, white, and blue. Gold and silver. Green and purple. Beautiful, temporary, spectacular. I thought about Lauren. Wondered where she was. If she was watching fireworks with Marcus. If she was happy. I hoped she was, truly. Because holding on to bitterness only poisons you. And I'd spent enough time poisoned. Grand finale began. Hundreds of fireworks launched simultaneously. Sky became canvas of light. Crowd cheered. Emma grabbed my hand, squeezed. Noah leaned back against my legs. Jessica rested her head on my shoulder. And I realized something. This was it. This was life I was meant to live. Not one I'd planned. Not one I'd dreamed about at 19. But this one, real, imperfect, hard-won. Mine, fireworks ended. Smoke drifted across sky. Lights faded. Darkness returned. But I wasn't afraid of dark anymore. Because I knew something now. Something I'd learned hard way. Fireworks don't last forever. They burn bright and beautiful and then they're gone. But people beside you, ones who stay when show ends, when smoke clears, when chaos fades, those are ones who matter, and I had them. Right here. Right now. Holding my hand. Leaning against me. Choosing me. Not because they had to, but because they wanted to. That was enough. More than enough. That was everything. Jessica and I dated for 2 years before I even thought about marriage. Idea terrified me. What if I failed again? What if I wasn't enough? What if history repeated itself and I ended up alone? Again? But Dr. Richard's voice echoed in my head. You're not same man you were with Lauren. You've grown. Learned. You know how to communicate now. How to be present. How to love better. I wanted to believe her. Wanted to believe I could do this right second time around. That I'd learned from mistakes. That I was capable of building something that lasted. Noah was one who pushed me. 16 years old and somehow wiser than me. We were working on his car one Saturday. Teaching him how to change oil. Getting grease under fingernails. Father-son bonding over machinery. You should marry Jessica, he said out of nowhere. I looked up. What? Jessica? You should marry her. She's good for you. She makes you happy. And her kids are cool. We'd be good family. You'd be okay with that? Me marrying someone who's not your mom? He shrugged. Mom's married to Marcus. She moved on. Why shouldn't you? Besides, Jessica's not trying to be my mom. She's just Jessica. And I like her. Emma likes her. That's what matters, out of mouths of babes. Or teenagers, whatever, he was right. I was holding back because of fear. Not because it was wrong. Not because I didn't love Jessica. But because I was scared of being vulnerable again. Of giving someone that much power over me. But love requires risk, requires trust, requires believing that not everyone will leave. That not every marriage ends in divorce. That some people actually mean it when they say forever. I bought ring. Simple, elegant, not too expensive but not cheap. I wasn't trying to compete with Lauren's first ring or Jessica's first ring. This was ours, unique, symbol of second chances, of love earned through hardship, of choosing each other after world tried to break us both. I planned to propose on Christmas Eve. We'd established tradition. My kids and her kids would come over. We'd make dinner together, play board games, watch old movies. It was chaotic and loud and perfect. Kind of family I'd always wanted. Blended, imperfect, real. After kids went to bed, Jessica and I sat by Christmas tree. Lights twinkling, fire crackling. Just us and quiet. I have something for you, I said. She smiled. We said no gifts this year. I lied. I pulled out ring. Got down on one knee. Her eyes went wide. Hand over mouth. Tears already forming. Jessica, I never thought I'd do this again. Never thought I'd want to. But you changed everything. You showed me that love doesn't have to be painful. That partnership can be easy. That I'm capable of being loved just as I am. You make me want to be better, braver, more open. You make me believe in forever again. So I'm asking, will you marry me? Will you build this crazy, blended, messy, beautiful life with me? She was crying, nodding. Yes, yes, absolutely yes. I slid ring on her finger, kissed her, held her. Felt lighter than I had in years. This was right. This was real. This was life I was supposed to have. We told kids on Christmas morning. Gathered everyone in living room. Made announcement. Emma screamed. Hugged Jessica, hugged me. Noah gave me fist bump and knowing smile. Jessica's kids were excited. Little nervous, maybe. But happy. Everyone was happy. When's wedding? Emma asked. We haven't planned that far. Jessica laughed. Summer, I said. Let's do it this summer. No long engagement. No overthinking. Just us and people we love, small, simple, perfect. Jessica nodded. Summer it is. We got married in July, 6 years after Lauren left me. Universe has sense of irony. But this July was different. This was my choice. My love, my future. We rented barn on outskirts of town. Decorated it with wildflowers and string lights. Invited 50 people. Close friends, family. Our kids stood beside us. Part of ceremony. Part of promise. Lauren sent card, congratulations, best wishes. She didn't come. Neither did Marcus. And that was okay. This wasn't about them. This was about Jessica and me. About second chances. About love that survives loss. About building something new from ashes of what came before. I wrote my own vows. Spoke from heart. Jessica, you saved me. Not from Lauren. Not from divorce. But from myself. From belief that I wasn't enough. That I was broken beyond repair. You showed me that broken things can be beautiful. That scars tell story. That love isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, being honest, choosing each other. Every single day, I promise to choose you, to listen, to be present, to never take you for granted, to love you fiercely and gently and completely. For all my days, she cried. I cried, kids cried, everyone cried. It was emotional and raw and absolutely perfect. We danced until midnight. Kids, our friends, everyone celebrating love. Not fairy tale kind, but real kind. Kind that's earned, fought for, treasured. That night, lying in bed beside my wife, I thought about how far I'd come. From that broken man on July 4th, watching his marriage explode like fireworks, to this, whole, healed, happy. It hadn't been easy, but it had been worth it. Every moment of pain, every tear, every sleepless night, every therapy session, every moment of doubt, worth it, because it led me here, to Jessica, to this blended family, to this second chance at forever. Blending family sounds romantic. Two broken families coming together to create something beautiful. But reality is messier, harder, more complicated than anyone tells you. Jessica's kids moved in with us. Lily was 14. Mason was 12, good kids. But they had their own wounds. Their own trauma from their parents' divorce. their own fears about what this new family meant. First month was chaos. 6 people under one roof. Different rules. Different expectations. Different ways of doing everything. Jessica liked structure, schedules. I was more laid back. Go with flow. Kids noticed. Started playing us against each other. Well, Mom lets us do this. Dad doesn't make us do that. We had to get on same page. Fast. Sat down one night after all kids were asleep. Made agreements, compromises, united front. We were partners now. Co-parents, tag team. We had to be consistent or kids would tear us apart. Emma struggled most. She was 18, about to leave for college. Didn't want to deal with new siblings. New rules. New dynamics. She'd been my baby, my first, and now she was sharing me with 3 other kids. It hurt her. Made her feel replaced, forgotten. You don't love me anymore, she said one night. We were arguing about curfew. About her boyfriend. About stupid stuff that wasn't really problem. Emma, that's not true. I love you just as much as I always have. Then why does it feel like I'm not enough? Like you needed whole new family to be happy? I sat down. Pulled her beside me. Listen to me. You and Noah are my world. Nothing changes that. But I'm also person. Not just your dad. I needed companionship, love, partnership. That doesn't diminish what I feel for you. It just means I have more love to give, and you'll always be my daughter, my firstborn. My Emma Grace, nothing and no one can replace you, she cried. I held her. Eventually, she softened. Started trying. Made effort with Lily. Taught her how to do makeup. How to deal with boys. Big sister stuff. It was beautiful watching their relationship develop. Tentative at first, but growing. Becoming real. Noah and Mason bonded over video games. Spent hours in basements shooting zombies and building virtual worlds. They fought sometimes. Typical brother stuff, but mostly they got along. Found their rhythm. Became friends. Then brothers. Jessica and I learned to navigate tough conversations. About money. About parenting styles. About ex-spouses. She was still civil with her ex. Talked regularly about kids. I was barely civil with Lauren. Still too much hurt. Too much history. Jessica helped me see that holding on to anger only hurt me, that I needed to forgive. Not for Lauren's sake, but for mine. So I worked on it. Started responding to Lauren's texts with more warmth. Asked about Marcus. About their life. Fake it till you make it. Eventually, fakeness faded. Became almost genuine. We'd never be friends. But we could be friendly. For Emma and Noah. For grandkids we'd someday share. For family events where we'd both be present. We had to make peace. Year 1 of marriage was hard. Year 2 was better. By year 3 we'd found our groove. Kids felt like unit. Our family. Not his and hers, just ours. We had inside jokes, traditions, rhythms, game night on Fridays. Pancake breakfast on Sundays. Annual camping trip in August. Simple things that bonded us. Made us whole. Emma graduated college. Psychology major. She wanted to be therapist. Help people way Dr. Richard helped me. I was so proud. Watching her walk across that stage. Degree in hand. Future bright. She'd survived her parents' divorce. Thrived despite it. Became stronger because of it. Noah got accepted to trade school. Automotive technology. He wanted to work with his hands. Build things. Fix things. Like his old man. We celebrated. Took him out to dinner. Whole family. Jessica's kids included. Everyone cheering. Everyone proud. This was what family looked like, messy, blended, beautiful. Lauren and Marcus came to Noah's graduation party. At my house. Our house. Jessica's and mine. It was first time we'd all been together in one space. Awkward at first. But Jessica broke ice. Welcomed them. Offered drinks, food, treated them like guests. Like humans. Not enemies. I watched Lauren that day. She looked happy, content. Marcus was attentive. Kind to her. Clearly in love. And I felt something unexpected. Relief. Because her happiness meant Emma and Noah were okay. Meant they had stability on both sides. Meant we'd all moved on. Healed. Become better versions of ourselves. Thank you, Lauren said to me privately. We were in kitchen. Away from everyone else. For what? For being gracious. For letting us be here. For raising our kids so well. For being man I knew you could be. I looked at her. Really looked at her. Woman who broke my heart. Who left me on worst night of my life. Who chose someone else. and I felt nothing. No anger, no pain, no longing. Just neutrality. Acceptance. She was part of my past, not my future, and that was okay. You're welcome. And thank you for giving me Emma and Noah, for teaching me what I didn't want in marriage, for forcing me to grow. I wouldn't be who I am without you. So thank you, she nodded, eyes glistening. You're happy with Jessica. It wasn't question, but I answered anyway. I am. Very. Good, you deserve that. We stood there. Two people who once shared everything. Now strangers who shared children. It was bittersweet, but mostly sweet. We'd survived, both of us. Found new loves, new lives, new versions of happiness. Story had good ending after all. Just not one we'd originally written. 10 years after Lauren left me, I stood on same hill behind First Baptist Church. July 4th, fireworks about to start. But this time I wasn't alone. Jessica was beside me. Emma and her fiancé, Noah and his girlfriend, Lily and Mason. Our whole blended beautiful family town had grown. New houses, new businesses. But this hill remained same. Place where my life began, where it ended, where it began again. Full circle. You okay? Jessica asked, squeezing my hand. Yeah, just remembering. Good memories or bad? Both, but mostly good now. Time does that. Softens edges, makes even painful parts feel meaningful. Fireworks started. Boom, 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 same as always. Red, white, and blue explosions lighting up sky. Kids oohed and awed. Emma leaned against her fiancé. Noah wrapped arm around his girlfriend. They were building their own lives now. Their own loves. Their own futures. And I got to watch. Got to be part of it. Got to see them become people they were meant to be. I thought about man I was 10 years ago. Broken, lost, convinced his life was over. If I could go back and talk to him, what would I say? I'd tell him it gets better. That pain is temporary. That he's stronger than he knows. That his kids will be okay. That he'll love again. That life has more chapters. That ending he feared wasn't ending at all. Just plot twist, redirection. Necessary detour on path to where he was supposed to be. I'd tell him to forgive Lauren. Not because she deserves it, but because carrying hate is exhausting. That forgiveness is gift you give yourself. That letting go doesn't mean what she did was okay. It just means you're not letting it define you anymore. I'd tell him to be patient. That healing takes time. That some days will be hard. That he'll cry in empty houses and wonder if he'll ever feel whole again. But that eventually he will. That joy will return. That laughter won't feel forced. That he'll wake up one morning and realize he's happy. Actually genuinely happy. I'd tell him about Jessica. About woman who will see him at his worst and love him anyway. Who will be patient with his baggage. Who will blend her broken pieces with his and create something beautiful. Who will prove that second chances are real. That love after loss is possible. That happy endings exist. They just don't always look like you expected. Grand finale began. Sky erupted in color and sound. Hundreds of fireworks overlapping, creating symphony of light. Crowd cheered. Jessica kissed my cheek. Kids laughed and pointed. This moment. Right here. This was everything. I love you, I said to Jessica. I love you too. Simple words. But weighted with meaning. With history. With knowledge of what it took to get here. Miles traveled. Obstacles overcome. Choice to keep going when giving up would have been easier. After fireworks ended, we walked back to cars. Emma fell into step beside me. Dad, can I ask you something? Always? Do you ever regret it? Divorce? Losing Mom? All pain we went through? I thought about it. Honest answer. I regret pain it caused you and Noah. I regret that you had to grow up in a broken home. That you had to learn too young that love doesn't always last. But do I regret where it led me? No, because it led me to Jessica. To this family. To a version of myself I'm actually proud of. So no, baby. I don't regret it. Not anymore, she hugged me. Good, because I like who you are now. You're happier, lighter, more you. I like who you are too. You've become an incredible woman. I'm so proud of you. Thanks, Dad, for everything. For not giving up. For showing me that people can survive hard things. That families can be rebuilt. That love is worth risk. Always worth risk. We drove home. Whole family piled into 2 cars. Music playing. Windows down. Summer air rushing in. We pulled into driveway. Our house. One Jessica and I bought together. One we'd made ours. Filled with memories, laughter, arguments, reconciliations, life. We stayed up late. Playing cards. eating ice cream, telling stories. Kids eventually went to bed. Jessica and I cleaned up, washed dishes, put away chairs, partnership, mundane, beautiful work of building life together. Later, we sat on back porch, stars overhead, crickets chirping, her head on my shoulder, my arm around her waist, comfortable, easy, home. "What are you thinking about?" she asked. How lucky I am. How easily this could have gone differently. How I could have stayed bitter, alone, broken. But somehow I didn't. Somehow I found my way here, to you, to this. Not somehow, David, you chose it. You did work. You healed. You opened yourself up to love again. That wasn't luck. That was courage. Maybe she was right. Maybe it was courage. Or maybe it was just desperation. Refusal to let pain have final word. Stubborn belief that there had to be more. That life couldn't end at 42. That I deserved another chance. Whatever it was, it worked. I was here. Alive, happy, loved. And that was more than enough. That was everything. They say hindsight is 20/20. That looking back you can see patterns, mistakes, moments that changed everything. And they're right. Looking back, I can see exactly where Lauren and I went wrong. Where I failed. Where she failed. Where we both stopped trying. We took each other for granted. Stopped dating. Stopped talking about anything real. We became roommates, co-parents, business partners, running operation of family life. But we stopped being lovers, friends, companions. We assumed love was enough. That saying "I do one time" meant forever was guaranteed. But love isn't one-time commitment. It's daily choice. 1,000 small choices to show up, to listen, to prioritize. To stay, I worked too much. Thought providing was same as loving. Thought paycheck and stable home were enough. But Lauren needed more. Needed conversation. Emotional intimacy. To be seen as woman. Not just wife and mother. I see that now. Wish I'd seen it then. But Lauren made mistakes too. Instead of talking to me, she looked elsewhere. Instead of fighting for us, she gave up. Quietly. Slowly. Until distance was too great to cross. She chose easy way out. New love, fresh start, clean break. But easy isn't always right. And running doesn't solve problem. It just creates new ones. If I could give advice to my younger self, to any man standing where I stood that July 4th, I'd say this. Pay attention. Your wife is telling you what she needs. Maybe not with words, but with her actions. Her mood, her withdrawal. Don't ignore it. Don't assume it'll get better on its own. Ask questions. Hard questions. Uncomfortable questions. Have conversations you're avoiding. Because silence kills marriages faster than fighting ever could. Prioritize your relationship. Your kids are important. Your job is important. But your marriage is foundation. If it crumbles, everything else collapses. Date your wife. Talk to her. Ask about her day. Her dreams. Her fears. See her. Really see her. Not as role she plays, but as person. Woman with needs and desires and depths you may have forgotten exist. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. To admit when you're struggling. When you're scared. When you don't have all answers. Strength isn't stoicism. It's honesty. It's letting someone see you completely and trusting they won't use it against you. Give your partner that chance. Let them in, but also know this. You can do everything right and still lose. Because you can't control another person. Can't force them to choose you, to love you, to stay. All you can control is yourself. Your actions, your choices, your effort. Give it everything. Fight for your marriage, but if it ends despite your best efforts, don't carry guilt that isn't yours to carry. Some things are beyond our control. And that's okay. That's life, and if you do end up divorced, broken, starting over, know this, you will survive. It doesn't feel like it in moment. Feels like end of world. Like you'll never be whole again. But you will. Time heals. Not completely. Scar remains. But it fades. Stops hurting. Becomes just part of your story. Part of who you are. Let yourself grieve. Cry. Rage. Feel all of it. Don't rush process. Don't pretend you're fine when you're not. But also don't stay in grief forever. At some point you have to choose to move forward. To rebuild. To open yourself to possibility of joy again. It's terrifying. But it's necessary. Be a good father. Your kids are watching. Learning how to handle adversity by watching you. Show them that people survive hard things. That families can change shape and still be families. That love evolves but doesn't end. Be present, consistent, honest. They'll remember how you handled this. Make it something they can be proud of. And when you're ready, when you've done work and healed enough, open your heart again. Don't let one person's choice to leave make you believe you're unlovable. You're not. You're human, flawed, imperfect, but worthy, capable of being loved, of loving well. Give yourself that chance, take risk, because alternative is living half-life, safe but alone, protected but empty, and you deserve more than that. I found Jessica because I was willing to try again, because I believed, despite all evidence to contrary, that I deserved happiness, that love was still possible. And I was right. She's proof. Our family is proof. This life is proof that endings can be beginnings, that broken things can be rebuilt. That worst day of your life doesn't have to define you. So if you're reading this, if your guy standing in his backyard on July 4th watching his marriage explode while neighborhood celebrates around him, if you're broken and lost and convinced your life is over, I'm here to tell you it's not. This is just chapter. Painful, devastating chapter, but not end of book.